Somewhere right now, a machine is learning how to do your job better than you. Not in 10 years. Today, the people who understand how that machine works are the ones getting hired, promoted, and building the companies that will define the next decade. This masterclass is your way in. In the next hour, you go from zero to fully operational. You will understand what AI actually is under the hood, how to use it, how to build with it, and how to make money from it. No fluff, no filler. Pure, practical training. Artificial intelligence is not magic. It is math. Algorithms that let machines learn from data, recognize patterns, and make decisions. When you send a text, unlock your face, or get a recommendation, AI is running that process. AI techniques are not one size fits all. Machine learning handles predictions. Deep learning handles complexity. NLP handles language. Computer vision handles visual understanding. Each was built for a specific class of problem, and today you'll learn to pick the right one. Knowing how to implement AI is now more valuable than knowing how to code from scratch. Companies are spending trillions to deploy this. The people who understand it at an implementation level are the ones controlling the outcome. Your first step is a development environment. Create a free account on a platform like OpenAI or Anthropic. This gives you API access. An API is simply a door into someone else's AI system that you can build on top of. Go to the API keys section and create a new secret key. Copy it immediately and store it somewhere safe. Never share it publicly. Never push it to GitHub. It's your access credential. Open your terminal. Confirm Python is installed. Then install the official API library. Once you see successfully installed, you're ready to write your first AI call. In the playground, the system message defines who the AI is. The user message is your actual request. Type, "You are an expert data scientist" into the system box. You've just customized the AI. Behavior. Pick the most capable general-purpose model for most tasks, and a faster, cheaper model for high-volume work. More capability costs more tokens, so choose based on the use case. Temperature controls creativity versus precision. Near zero gives predictable, consistent output, ideal for extraction. Near 1 gives varied, creative output, ideal for writing. Start around 0. 7 for general use. Max tokens controls response length. Raise it for long-form content. Keep it low for short, structured answers. You pay per token, so unnecessary length adds cost. Here's a technique most people miss. A well-crafted system prompt beats a great user prompt. It sets persona, restricts scope, defines output format, and gives background knowledge. It's programming the AI's rules before the conversation starts. Machine learning is the foundation. Instead of programming every rule manually, you feed the machine examples and let it find patterns. Show it thousands of labeled cat and dog photos, and it learns the difference. That's training a model. Supervised learning uses labeled data, so the model learns to predict outputs for new inputs. Emails labeled spam or not spam teach it to classify new emails automatically. Unsupervised learning removes the labels. You give raw data and ask the model to find structure on its own. This powers segmentation, anomaly detection, and recommendation systems. For ML without coding from scratch, open a free notebook environment like Google Colab and import scikit-learn, one of the most powerful ML libraries ever built, for free. Deep learning is machine learning, with neural networks stacked into many layers, each extracting higher-level patterns, edges, then shapes, then faces. That stacking is what makes it powerful. You don't need to train a network from scratch. That takes weeks of compute. Use a pre-trained model from a hub, like Hugging Face, instead. Copy a code snippet, and you have a working classifier in a few lines. Transfer learning is the professional shortcut. Take a model already trained on millions of examples and fine-tune it on your own data. This cuts training time from weeks to hours and needs far less data. NLP gives AI the ability to understand and generate human language. It's behind chatbots, translation, and voice assistants. Its core job is turning unstructured text into structured data a machine can reason about. Tokenization breaks text into chunks the model can process. Understanding it helps you write better prompts and manage API costs. Install a transformers library, load a sentiment analysis pipeline, and run it on a sentence. The model returns a label like positive with a confidence score. In just a few lines of code, text classification is one of the highest demand AI skills today. Companies use it for ticket routing, content moderation, and lead scoring. Your next step is a pipeline that reads a message and routes it automatically. Computer vision lets machines interpret images, identifying objects, faces, text, or spatial relationships inside a grid of pixels. It's embedded in every smartphone, security system, and medical device today. Object detection identifies what's in an image and where, drawing a labeled box around each object. A pre-trained model can do this in seconds with a library like OpenCV before deploying facial recognition in any product. Check your jurisdiction's biometric data laws. They vary, and skipping this is a real legal liability. The most practical beginner computer vision project is OCR. Run a tool like PyTesseract on an image of text, and it extracts everything readable, immediately useful for automating data entry. Prompt engineering separates average users from professionals. The same model with 2 different prompts can produce 10x different quality. A professional specifies audience, tone, goal, format, constraints, and an ideal output example. Zero-shot prompting gives a task with no examples, just a clear instruction. It works for simple tasks but can be inconsistent on complex ones. Few-shot prompting adds 2 or 3 example input-output pairs before your real question. This dramatically improves consistency. Chain-of-thought prompting is the expert technique. Ask the model to reason step by step before its final answer. Adding, "Let's think through this step by step," meaningfully improves accuracy on reasoning tasks. Your project for this masterclass: an AI-powered customer support triage system. It reads tickets, classifies them by urgency and department, drafts a reply, and logs the result. A real product companies pay for, monthly. Create a project folder with separate files for core logic, configuration, and your API key, and an output log. This keeps your code clean and professional from day one. In your config, store your API key, chosen model, max tokens, and a low temperature for consistent classification. In your main file, connect everything together. Write a function that takes ticket text, sends it with a system prompt instructing the AI to classify by urgency and department, and respond in JSON only. One returns the parsed result, your classification engine. Write a second function that takes the ticket and its classification, and asks the AI to draft a short, professional, empathetic reply. A tight system prompt keeps replies concise and on-brand. Add a logging function that appends timestamp, ticket ID, urgency, department, and suggested response to a CSV file. A full audit trail, essential for any business-grade AI application. Test with sample tickets, covering every urgency and department combination. Check your log. If anything misclassifies, adjust your system prompt and retest. Then check your token usage. If costs are high, trim redundant wording. A shorter prompt achieving the same result uses fewer tokens and costs less. Most beginners write prompts twice as long as needed. This triage system is directly deployable as a SaaS product. A business whose support team currently spends real time sorting tickets manually is your target customer. One paying client validates the whole idea. The same approach powers other monetizable services, content brief generators for agencies, document processing tools for healthcare admin, and recommendation engines for e-commerce. Each one, a real product businesses pay monthly for. For real-time automation, connect your system to a webhook from your support platform. or run it on a schedule. A simple server running your classification function processes every ticket within seconds, fully autonomous during business hours. For a no-code layer, a tool like Zapier can trigger your AI on a new spreadsheet row and write the result back, built in about 20 minutes, no coding required. Model chaining feeds one model's output into another input. Classify and summarize first, then feed that into a second call that drafts the reply. 2 focused steps often beat one overloaded prompt, and fine-tuning on your own labeled examples can sharpen accuracy further. The most powerful system-level technique is a persona stack. Define the role, then constraints, then output format, then one example. This keeps output consistent across thousands of calls. Avoid the most common mistakes. Vague prompts. Write a good email produces mediocre output. Specify audience, tone, length, format, and what you don't want. Using AI output without validation, since models can hallucinate, and ignoring token costs. A leaner, trimmed prompt achieving the same result cuts your API bill significantly. Your API call will fail eventually. Rate limits, outages. Wrap every call in error handling with a retry strategy, and never hard-code your API key in source code. On a public repository, bots scrape it within minutes, and your account gets charged. Load credentials from environment variables instead. A few production-grade habits matter too. Stream responses so users see words appear in real time instead of waiting. Use function calling, so the model returns structured, typed actions instead of free text you parse manually. And for high-volume, non-urgent workloads, use batch processing for results at a steep discount. Embeddings convert text into numerical vectors, capturing meaning, so differently worded sentences, with the same meaning, sit close together. This powers semantic search, a natural language question returning the most relevant document, not just keyword matches. The next wave of AI combines text, image, audio, and video understanding in one model. Build your foundations now so you can adopt multimodal capabilities the moment they're widely available. AI agents take sequences of actions, using tools like web search and code execution, to complete tasks without constant human input. Building your first agent is a natural next project after this masterclass. AI is also moving onto local devices, running without internet. This enables private, low-latency applications that never send sensitive data to a server, a process shift that will matter in healthcare, legal, and finance. Week 1. Set up your environment, complete the playground exercises, and run the classification examples until you understand how to read an API response. Weeks 2 and 3. Build the full triage system end-to-end. Classification, SED, reply generation, logging, automation. A real deployable product, not a portfolio piece. Week 4. Pitch the system to local businesses with support operations. Offer a trial. Gather feedback. One paying customer validates the idea. Everything after that is growth. Beyond 30 days, the people who dominate the next decade aren't the ones who know the most AI theory. They're the ones who ship the most AI products. Pick one technique, go deep, build real things, share your results. Look at what you now know. How machines learn. How neural networks process information. How language models reason. How computer vision interprets reality. You've built a real AI product and learned to prompt, fine-tune, automate, and monetize. That is professional capability. The gap between someone who understands these techniques and someone who doesn't has never been wider. You just crossed it. Your next step is simple. Open your terminal. Write your first API call. Build your first project. Fail fast. Iterate faster. The masterclass gave you the map. The journey starts the moment you close this video. If this masterclass delivered real value, subscribe so you never miss the advanced series. and drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. See you in the next one.